right, let's welcome in Richard Davenport into the program this morning. Richard, the big news kind of involving recruiting is the Hunt NIL deal. And I want to, again, it's not JB Hunt, it's the Hunt family, AAC. Just from your perspective, kind of the student athletes that you've talked to and maybe some upcoming high school recruits, how do you think this is going to impact Arkansas in recruiting?
Well, like you said, it's the Hunt family involved, not necessarily the trucking company, but still yet they're part of JB Hunt family, and it's a Fortune 500 company. The Arkansas and all the athletic programs talk up about all the Fortune 500 companies in Northwest Arkansas, job opportunities afterwards. And so when some family members started NIL like they did, kind of gets attention of kids, and also really in what they're doing too, involving community work. I think that really kind of catches the mom's attention, and the mom and probably the dad, but probably more so the mom. The mom kind of embraces that, so it's obviously a plus.
Yeah, and is there ever a bad time if you're 20, 21, 22 to build a relationship, rub elbows, be on a working basis with someone in Northwest Arkansas named Hunt or a Walton or a Ty? I mean, I would think that would serve you well when your basketball or your football or your baseball or whatever career is over, to have that kind of connection, Richard.
Exactly. That's the thing that I think a lot of people overlook is just the educational part of it, and then the connections that it's involved in these NIL deals, and they get to start early networking with some of the more powerful people in the state and companies, and it's a big deal. And I was just talking to a parent about that who has a son that's doing quite well with NIL, and I was so envious of that, just thinking that, to have that opportunity at 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, before you get out of school, to be talking to some of the more powerful business people in the state, and the connections that you get, there's no amount of money that you can put on that.
Nope. It could change your lifetime earnings dramatically, exponentially, just having that connection. So the thing that I was talking about this with Tom, the thing I notice that's different about this is, you go out to a restaurant or a car dealership or just pick any normal category business, and they write you a check to do ads or to come out for autograph signings or whatever the arrangement is. They're expecting something in return for that. With AAC, it's a nonprofit. They're partnering with other nonprofits to bring awareness and exposure. To me, it takes the pressure somewhat off the athlete. They can do good works and spend their time working with that. But, Richard, it takes the pressure off of, hey, if they don't sell more cars or they don't sell more insurance or they don't sell more meals, I might be out on this deal. I think it kind of changes the dynamics with this particular setup.
I agree because, businesses, when they get into a business deal, the bottom line is the focus, and how much can this kid bring to as far as, visibility and possibly increase in business. And in this type situation, a lot of people, want to make an impact on other people, and this is the way that you do it. And I think it's something that we all should embrace. If you don't have an NIL deal, you should maybe be involved in organizations that help other people that are less fortunate, and I think it's just a win-win.
Richard Davenport talking a little recruiting, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. RD, tell us about your recent talk and just kind of what Troy Ford is thinking right now.
He's a kid that recently visited Arkansas. He loves Arkansas. He's a 4-star linebacker from Georgia who has got a very impressive offer list, and a guy that I think Arkansas is in very, very good shape with. I know his dad was very impressed with Arkansas too. He wants to make a return visit to Fayetteville at some point, so one to keep an eye on going forward.
I know that you put out that Quincy Rhodes had received an offer from Jackson State and Deion Sanders, and I know he's got one from Arkansas too. Richard, in-state kid, North Little Rock, it's getting looked at by Primetime. How much of a recruiting wave is Deion Sanders making, not just where he's at, but nationally right now?
Well, I mean, just the name. All the kids know him, and and some of the kids that he's been able to steal from the Power 5 schools. That's big. Obviously, some NIL deals seem to be involved there. So, but he's bringing attention to Jackson State, and you know that he's going to continue to make noise. But at the same time, if he continues to win, he won't be at Jackson State much longer.
Yeah, he'll be in the prime time then. I mean, everybody's kind of got him connected to Florida State if that doesn't pan out there quickly. But hey, let's shift gears, talk basketball, because big news with Nick Smith this week and Walsh and the McDonald's All-American label. 2 of the 24 in the country. Both of these guys were named. Tell us the impact this has moving forward for Eric Musselman's program.
Well, I mean, obviously it brings visibility, even more visibility. I mean, everybody knows Arkansas has one of the top 2 or 3 classes in the country, and kids right now in the younger classes, they notice that. And that, if you're a kid from California or what have you, you do notice that. And let's face it, Arkansas still has somewhat of a image problem, and with kids that are from out of state thinking, it's just cows and chickens in Arkansas. And when you have 2 high-profile guys, obviously one in-state, but one out-of-state, guys that are McDonald's All-Americans going to the same university, and it's Arkansas, that kind of piques your interest. And I know that happens. Kids start asking questions, asking other people about Arkansas and things like that. I know that for a fact. So it's just more visibility for the program, and then it shows that obviously Coach Musselman and the staff are recruiting at a high level, and that entices other kids and the lower classes to start looking at Arkansas maybe a little harder.
And in your opinion, the other 3 in the class, the Darian Ford, the other 3 in the class, how close were they to being on this list of 24?
I wouldn't say they were very close, because it's usually the top 30 guys that are in the usually in the top 30 before you really have a chance to make the McDonald's All-American team. But I mean, obviously they were nominees, so that's big, and that's nothing to sneeze at. And hey, 5 guys in the top 100. That's a pretty elite class, especially when you look at the rankings.
All right, so later today, I'm being forced to get in a car with Ty for 2.5 hours.
Forced and privilege, opportunity.
And go to Hot Springs. Tomorrow we're going to be at Oakland to do the show. You got any horse racing tips? You got any tips for survival for me? I mean, what should I do with what he is labeling as a young stallion that's going to be loose in Hot Springs tonight?
Yeah, well, always bet on the geldings. That's whenever I see a gelding, I always say, okay, that you can't.
Especially one with a long blonde, mare, a long blonde hair that's coming off of them. Yeah, your hair, it look like you.
Okay.
So,
like Aslan.
I don't know what that is, but.
Narnia reference. You didn't read the books? You didn't read C.S. Lewis?
No.
One of the best writers in the history of our civilization? No? Did you really not read? Did you read J.R. Tolkien?
Nope.
Did you read anything?
Nope.
Okay. All right, Richard.
Moby Dick.
Moby. Who's that written by again? Oh, man. That was probably a sign, wasn't it?
Pray for me, Richard.
I will, buddy. Hang in there.
And I hope to talk to you next Thursday. So.
Well, you need to be there for that young buck, because sometimes they don't make the best decisions when they're out on the town.
That doesn't sound like me.
He always wants me to go for the expense account. That's what he's wanting me to go for.
Well, that's the
Pick
point.
Up dinner.
All right, Richard. Appreciate it, man.
All right, guys.
All right,
good luck
see you.
tomorrow.
All right, Rich Davenport with us here on a Recruiting Thursday in the Morning Run.
BetOnline would like to wish you a happy new betting year as we continue our march to the playoffs and beyond. BetOnline remains the #1 spot for all the best sports wagering action for 2022. New year and a new updated desktop and mobile wagering to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's BLEAV. From football, basketball, hockey, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for 2022. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.